We go.
Okay.
All right, let's roll. Let's roll. Okay, here we go. Man, what a half. No one expected this, or no one could see this coming. I know the Falcons dominated, but I don't think they ever expect to dominate the way they did, coming out 29-10 at halftime. And of course, the Cowboys, they never expected this as well. But when you turn the football over like you did, when you have the penalties like we did in that first half, we had 6 penalties for 60 yards in the first half. We had the 3 turnovers, and the penalties were at critical times, stopping drives and things of that nature. You look at the total yards, they 226, we're 203. But it's just the field position, the short drives that they had, and the things that led to the score being 29-10. And the Cowboys got to be stunned. They got to be stunned and scratching their head and trying to figure out what they need to do in the second half. But here's the hope, guys. You hope that the Falcons has shot it all, okay? They gave all they got, okay? And hopefully the Cowboys still got a little left to make a comeback here. And we'll see what happens. I think the Falcons get the ball first, starting out the second half. And that's not good because they have that opportunity to increase the lead. So it's the turnovers. It's the turnovers, the mistakes, the penalties, all those things are contributing. And to me, guys, this looks no different than what we've been used to for the 9 years under Jason Garrett. This looks like the same stuff. No accountability, mistakes, and things of that nature put us in the hole. 29 points we gave up in the first half. So we got Paul there. We got Jen. Everybody else with me? Who else is with? Oh, baby. Hold on. I got what I said. Jennifer. Well, let's get everybody's opinion quickly on the first half. Let's start with you since you're on there, Jennifer. Jennifer Nix.
Yes.
Nix. Get that.
I don't even know. You would think after losing last week that they would come on fire this week. So I don't know. I'm speechless, honestly. I don't understand. Each play seemed to almost be getting worse. A lot of loose hands. The defense, the offense, both just are not on par at all. And like you said, there's no accountability. I don't understand. We just came out of years where everyone was griping about no accountability, and we're still there. Does that mean it's more the players? We're used to it was a lot of talk about the coach. And, if the players aren't changing, they're going to be the same players, even if it's a different coach. So is that what we're finding out?
Yeah, well, we're going to find out. Here's the deal. We're going to see how they respond in the second half. Are they going to lay down, or are they going to come back fighting and try to close this gap and maybe pull out this football game? Because there's still a lot of football left to play if they could step it up. So we'll see what happens. What do you think there, Paul Southon?
I got to ask you, Drew, as a former player of one of the great lineups of the Cowboys, I got to know, is it so frustrating to watch? Because as Cowboys fans, we're frustrated. We've been frustrated for several years now. But as a player, as someone who could have done something about it, it's got to be terrible for you watching, like painful.
Very painful and disappointing. As a former player, a Cowboy fan, you don't want to see this, I'm thinking about as this is going on, did I ever experience anything like this in my 11 years with the Cowboys? No. We didn't win every football game, but we never lost any games like this or have to be dominated in any half of a football game like the Cowboys were in the first half of this game. So, yeah. It's painful to watch and disappointing at the same time. But again, let's see how they respond. Let's see what they got. Let's see if they have any mental toughness. Let's see if they have any heart, this football team. Let's see if they have any leadership. Is anybody in that locker room talking it up? I'm not talking about the coaches, Are the players being accountable to each other, Are the players getting in somebody's face like Leroy Jordan used to do when we weren't playing well? He didn't care who it was. He'd get all up in your face, grab your chin strap and your face mask or whatever and say, hey, what's wrong with you? Let's get on board, Yeah. And so hopefully some of that is going on in the locker room and they're not accepting this, but they're pissed off about this and hopefully they'll do something. So Jen Reed, you have anything?
Yeah, I mean, do you think it's going to take a little time for them to kind of get used to the coaching staff and kind of have that respect for them, or do you think that it's already kind of comes with territory? Are they going to have, take a little time for them to, organize their?
Still trying to pick up, McCarthy's ways and all that, and learn a little bit of difference in the defense. New defensive coordinator and Mike Nolan, but still, it's about playing, making tackles, not jumping off sides, not holding. And in situations, not fumbling the football. Oh my God, the fumbles in that first part of the game,
Nonstop.
2 fumbles for touchdowns in the first 5 plays. That's what the Falcons got, So with that kind of stuff going on, it's very difficult to win a football game. And, we can get back in because the Falcons have a shaky defense. The worst part of their defense is their defensive secondary. Their best pass rusher, Tack McKinley, is out of the game with an ankle injury. So we got a chance to come back, but it's not going to be about the offense. The comeback is going to be about the defense. And there's D. Paul. D. Paul, what do you think, man?
Isn't this the same way the Falcons lost the last Super Bowl they were in?
Fighting words.
Maybe this is the Cowboys' strategy. Let them get a comfortable lead and then come back, bam, and flip
well, part of the strategy is working. They got the comfortable lead.
To this point, yes, sir.
Let's see if we can make a comeback.
Yeah, now, Drew, I got to ask you, of course, we have so many classic Cowboys football fans watching, and they love to hear the stories about those great days with Tom Landry. What would Tom Landry say in the locker room right about now?
He wouldn't say nothing. He'd be at the chalkboard, the blackboard, drawing up plays, talking about things that we made mistakes, things we're going to do in the second half. Coach Landry was not a holla guy. He didn't have nobody up on the collar or point any finger. He tried to motivate you by being prepared, making the adjustments for the second half. Then it's up to you as a player to have some pride, because you just got your butt whooped, to go back out and do something about it. You're on national TV. You're the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody's watching around the world. And, you're embarrassed by that first half. You've got any heart, you got any mental toughness, you'll go back out there and do the job. But no, we had veteran players on our team, and they were responsible for getting us fired up and setting the tone in that locker room. When you hear a Randy White step up and say something, or a Leroy Jordan, or a Bob Lilly, or Roger Staubach, hey, you perk up and you listen. If those guys are on that page, they want you to get on the same page. So hopefully we'll see what happens in the second half, and they'll come out in the second half fired up, because, again, I think the Falcons have the football, so the onus will be on the defense. If we can get a 3-and-out like we did in the first part of the football game before the fumbles started setting in, get a 3-and-out on the Falcons, get the ball back, take it in for a touchdown. Now you got a 29-17 lead, and now you really got the momentum on your side. You're encouraged. You're excited about it. And hopefully that'll be enough to get you to continue to play well and get the lead, hopefully, before the third quarter ends. But this game has gone pretty fast. The drives, long drives. The Cowboys had the long drive for the touchdown. Let's see. They won 11 plays for 70 yards. Then the Falcons came back, and that drive took 4 minutes. Then the Falcons came back with a 12-play, 60-yard drive. That took 6 minutes. And then the Cowboys come back with a 7-play, 58-yard drive. And then the Falcons capped it off with 10 plays, 75 yards. So that makes the game go real fast. So it was a real fast first half. And we'll see how the second half goes. Guys, got any predictions, anything else you want to add before?
I have something to add. It's more of a question. I have a question for you, Drew. So whether you're in the locker room and you have a chance to either Zoom in or be there in person and give them a pep talk yourself right now, or just direction for the second half, what would you be telling the team right now?
This ain't about talk, okay? This is about doing, Again, you're going to say things to get guys fired up. Come on, let's go. But, man, it's about each individual going in that locker room, going in the restroom, not to take a leak or anything, but to look in the mirror at themselves and see what they got to do individually to get that thing around. Because, it's a total team letdown here. And each individual needs to look at each other. How can Jalen Smith go yell at somebody? He ain't doing the job. How can the offensive line go at the defensive line and they're not doing the job? So anyway, the offense looks good when we have chances with it. The offensive line is starting to play better. But, this is not about talk at this point, guys. This is about doing. And we got a second half to do it. And let's see if we can do it. What do you think, D. Paul?
I think the Cowboys are going to stay in it because pride is a strong motivational factor, and they don't want to be humiliated. So I think they're in it.
Well, let's look at some scores real quick. The Philadelphia Eagles, they were struggling pretty good too today. They were kind of looking like the Cowboys, but they're getting back into the game. They're trailing Los Angeles Rams 21-16 into the third quarter. The New York Giants are getting smacked by the Chicago Bears. The Giants are losing 17-3. They're still in they're in the third quarter. And where's our Washington Redskins? Are they playing today or playing later? Oh, they play later. They play Arizona. So that's what we're keeping our eye on, the rest of the NFC East. And so far, all the teams except the Redskins, who are in first place, by the way, in the NFC East, everybody else is losing. When you look at the Philadelphia Eagles trailing 21-16 to the Rams, and the Giants are trailing 17-3 to the Chicago Bears. So Cowboys get back on track and try to win this game, and the Eagles and the Giants lose. We'll see what happens with the Redskins later today, but the Cowboys could be tied for first place if they turn this thing around in the second half. So the kickoff is about to happen. We'll be back after the game with the post-game comments and hopefully talking about a Cowboy comeback victory. Okay, guys? Thank you all. Enjoy the second half and have one for me.
Go Cowboys.